Hey.
Hello, what's up?
Hey, Genma&Samurai here.
Techman1 who never uses a YouTube channel.
That's true. Yeah, we might be using in the future. He's getting that figured out.
Yeah.
So, we're here to discuss E3.
Yeah, I have a lot of things to say about E3.
As do I. So to begin with, there's quite a bit of stuff that, I can talk about, with this E3. The stuff that I expect. So which one of us should start?
I'll start with me because I have a bit of a small list, but I do have a lot of games that I really want to talk about. First of all, which is, personally that I would like to see, is more Witcher 3. Because I am a huge Witcher fan. I really love the first Witcher game. I have not played the second game yet, but I am going to eventually. I beat the first game like twice, and Witcher 3 is one of my most anticipated games as of right now. Another game I want to see is Kingdoms Under Fire 2. I've looked at some gameplay of it. It looks pretty, interesting. It looks like a really good, it's sort of like a Dynasty Warriors, but it looks really, it looks like something that would really interest me. And for, I guess Microsoft, I'm kind of excited for Quantum Drift, whatever the game is called. Quantum Break, there we go. Yeah, it looks really interesting, and I like the fact that they're trying to combine it with the TV series.
I remember that with the video or whatever we were watching. It was just...
Yeah, that face. Quantum Break, yeah. Oh yeah, more versus 13.
Yeah.
God.
It's okay. We all have these other things. Yeah, I won't spoil it. I am considering making a video about 15, partly to correct some confusion that Square Enix itself started. But that is another story.
Okay, what I want to see also is another Metroid game, but...
Oh, we can get into that.
Yeah.
Alright,
I won't get into any details until he starts, but that's another game I really want to see.
Alright.
And let's see what else from Sony. Oh yeah, more Phantom Pain, more Metal Gear Solid 5. And that's pretty much it for me. There's no really any new announcements of any new IPs, except for Deep Down. I really want to see how Deep Down is going to pull with that free-to-play model.
Okay. Yeah. In my scenario, there's a lot that I personally am expecting, as he kind of said before, mainly revolving around Nintendo. Maybe not necessarily expecting so much as stuff I would love to see at this E3. That probably won't happen. I'm also just going to leave these other videos right.
Let's start with the ones that will happen.
Okay, well, yeah, just one moment. So, okay, first off, what is practically confirmed, though not in writing yet, that there is going to be a Zelda U. Now, of course, a lot of the stuff revolving it is just kind of rumors. I heard a rumor a long time ago that the very first dungeon was going to be as big as the Hyrule Field from Ocarina of Time. And I've just heard a lot of very interesting things, that they want to break the formula, kind of like a Link Between Worlds and stuff, but I'd say that there isn't really much info, but me as a huge Zelda fan, I'm down. I'm down. My body's ready. I am willing to just... My body is ready. My body's ready. That's it. Now, past that, though, there is another interesting thing that came out last week. A bunch of information regarding Hyrule Warriors, which at first I was not excited for. And then we had some very interesting things kind of pop up at the thing. Actually, I will show Chris, and you guys will see through editing what I'm talking about. But we had a very interesting reveal regarding Hyrule Warriors as soon as this other thing loads. So, for one, they revealed a little bit about the story, and it seems like it's going to be a Skyward Sword sequel.
Is it like leaked footage?
Not necessarily leaked. It has a whole Japanese website and everything. But I want to draw your attention to this for the villain. I was very surprised, to say the least. What are your thoughts on this?
I am not surprised. Well, I'm surprised it's Zelda, but it doesn't really matter.
I guess it doesn't matter. I just thought it was kind of funny. Most of us are like, "Oh, it's Nintendo." Like, tits. Tits, everybody!
Well, they're doing Bayonetta 2, you know.
Tits.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Bayonetta 2.
Yeah, they do have that. That's true. Yeah. But, yeah, no, so basically, they've shown a lot of stuff regarding there's going to be multiple playable characters, you're going to be able to play as Impa and other stuff, and I actually am very pleased with the art style of the game and other stuff, like,
Oh yeah, I probably wouldn't post these screenshots on your video itself.
People have done that, though, but I don't know.
I wouldn't risk it.
Well, regardless, I'll figure out a way. So that said, I'm looking forward to that game. Past Hyrule Warriors and all that, there's a ton of other games that I'm looking forward to. So to begin with, like you said, I would love to see a Metroid HD. I really would. You're going to see some video footage of, some HD gameplay of Metroid Prime here just because. Well, okay, it's put through an HD output, playing it on the Wii U or whatever. I've done that.
Yeah.
That said, we need a good HD Metroid. One and
one that does not ruin the character. Sorry about that.
Other M. Anyway, so let's not
ruin it.
Let's not have other M. Okay. Nintendo really just get Retro Studios to do it because obviously they know what they're doing and you don't, which is sad.
Capcom almost got Retro Studios to make Maverick Hunter.
Oh yeah, I heard something about that. Yeah. Yeah, but Capcom is another story. Anything announced from them is not going to be worth announcing because it's never going to be there because they don't hold out anything.
Oh yeah, one more thing from my side. This is more wishful thinking. GTA 5 on PC. Come on, Rockstar, bring it to PC. I have it on PS3. I want to play it on my good PC.
Yeah, if you want to do that, yeah. No, definitely no other kind of a thing. Now, a game that I myself am super excited for. You see, recently they announced that they had a meeting for a new 3DS game. That they have not announced anything about what game that is, just that they were having a meeting.
It's supposedly a new IP.
Not necessarily. They haven't confirmed one or the other. That's the other thing. Now, of course, they have confirmed that Miyamoto a few years ago was working on a new IP, but as for whether or not it's this 3DS game, we don't know, really. That said, I really don't know what this new IP is going to be because, actually, as much of a Nintendo fan as I am, I don't really know how I felt about some of their newer things. Like, I know people love Pikmin. I've been really indifferent to Pikmin.
I've never personally tried Pikmin yet, but I will pick it up soon just to try it out.
Yeah. But again, that said, I guess as long as it's something that interests me, I'll be down for it, That said, this might not be it, but one game I am super excited for, that I'm totally on this hype train for, Majora's Mask 3D.
Yes, please. Nintendo, do this, please. Please.
You have a giant list of people who have signed up for this. You had what's-her-face, Zelda Williams, that lady who helped you do the trailer for Ocarina of Time 3D. She is one of the people who was an avid supporter of this. She was in one of their trailers. And, just saying, there is a huge fan base for this stuff. Like, that's one person, of course. But, yeah, it's just been really crazy. The game, I love it, and I'm just going to have some gameplay bits of this one LP you guys should check out.
It'll be in a corner right there.
Well, I mean, yeah, and it'll also be annotated just so you guys can check out this LP. Basically, where they just kind of played Ocarina of Time, like both versions side by side, and you could really see the clear contrast difference of the visuals that just were insane.
And the textures.
Yeah, because, okay, it's so true to a T that playing it you wouldn't think there were any differences, but no. Just the cinematography was nuts. I'm looking at a clip right here where, you're seeing all the angles are a lot more dynamic and.
And you see the frame rate has been improved.
By quite a bit. They upped it by like 10 frames.
Yeah,
So,
it was 20 frames per second on the original N64.
yeah, and this one's 30. So, yeah, like you see before it goes straight for the fence, but that one went under a little thing. So anyway, yeah, just saying, I would love to see something like that. Actually, I think it would be cool to see it in HD as well, but of course, that really depends.
Oh yeah,
on circumstances.
Nintendo. If you're gonna bring Majora's Mask to the 3DS, don't censor the game.
Yeah, no, because I mean, it'll probably still be good regardless, but I mean, this is a game that I don't think you could get away with it. Ocarina of Time, you did kinda, but I mean, this one, I don't think you would get away with. Because this is a really deep game. I could talk for hours about Majora's Mask and how I just don't even believe it was made by Nintendo sometimes. That's just how shocking it is.
Yeah.
But that said, again, just seeing some of this HD footage that was totally fake that just kind of blew my mind. And, I would love to see something in this art style for, heck, even the 3DS version if you could replicate it.
Oh, well, I forgot to mention this game. This is also more wishful thinking, but I hope Bethesda at least gives us like a teaser for Fallout 4. Because what happened with the Survivor 2099 really pissed me off.
Yeah.
That it was actually a fake Reddit post, and I'm like, oh my god. I really want a Fallout 4. I am a huge Fallout fan. I don't really care much for Elder Scrolls, but I'm a huge Fallout fan. Please, Bethesda, make Fallout 4 happen.
Yeah. Now, again, this is another one of those really interesting things regarding Majora's Mask 3D, and this is going to be one of the last things I'm going to say, is evidence that at least Nintendo acknowledges this stuff. Like, he does acknowledge this fan base. And, like, in A Link Between Worlds, as you can see from one thing shortly, there's an Easter egg where you can see Majora's Mask is right there hanging on Link's wall. Now, any indication why or anything is not really elaborated. Now, again, we don't know what it means. We just know it's there in the game.
Yeah.
So, I would still love to see it. Now, another game.
Sonic
Boom.
Yeah.
Oh my. Well, you're more familiar with the developer than I am, so I'm going to let you take the talk into this one.
Okay, I'm very mixed with Sega because they make good games, and they as a publisher they don't screw gamers over that much. However, recently they've been doing a lot of crappy things. I remember back in 2012 or 2001 where Sega was taking down Shining Arc, not Shining Arc, Shining Force 3 videos because they don't want the publicity to go into Shining Force 3. So because they were going to make a new game called Shining Arc. Total Biscuit and myself, I'm still boycotting Sega right now. I don't want okay, Sonic Boom looks like it would be a really good game. But due to what they did with them publishing Aliens Colonial Marines and then with their Shining Force 3 debacle, I don't know if I want to support that game.
Yeah.
I'm being completely honest here because they just recently they've been screwing over the gamer a lot recently, and I mean they're not as bad as Capcom. Capcom I will never support with my money ever again. But the Sonic Boom to me has to be really good for me to want to buy the game. If it's not even that good, why would I even buy it?
Yeah, I didn't know any about all that, but I will say I am I'm fairly optimistic about this game. The only thing I have to say about speaking of it as a game here, which is kind of more what I was going for, but yeah, I guess I see what you're saying. I guess it looks good. It looks really good. I am more of a fan of the Sonic Adventure games, which just seems there's going to be a lot of elements of
Except
that.
Sonic Adventure 2, that game sucked.
Well, I mean, it's still not as bad as some other ones that you can easily name, but that.
I'm not gonna name it. I don't know what it is.
But I will say, I found, the adventure games to both be, one of the high points of, one of the high points of the 3D Sonic career. I mean, people love Colors and Generations, and it's still different gameplay from Adventure, so, they're good games. I prefer, that. Now, next thing I want to talk about as
a new 3D Mario.
As an idea, new 3D Mario. So, to begin with, Mario 3D World is a fantastic game. Don't get me wrong, I played through it. It has its problems, but it definitely is a fantastic game.
However, though, it didn't feel like a true 3D Mario.
Which I don't think that's what it was going for. Because I was once talking with my cousin the other day about how a lot of franchises, when they transition to 3D, how they lost their core gameplay identity, if you know what I mean. And
3D World tried to do that.
And as, Mario 64 was still a fantastic and groundbreaking game. It was a collectathon. It wasn't a side-scroller. It wasn't a get from point A to point B game. It was a collectathon.
Same thing with Sunshine.
Yeah, Sunshine and Galaxy. And that's what, the 3D Land and 3D World tried to do. They tried to reattempt the idea of creating a 3D, 2D Mario. And they pretty much succeeded. The only deal is, it did come with a few clunky bits to it.
And I'm hoping that, really though, I'm glad Nintendo's not. I'm hoping they stop doing that new Super Mario Bros. Series, because that series is just generic as all hell.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the new Super Mario Bros. Series. It sells somehow, but
it's like, I can't believe that game was even being sold. Like, I hated when they get away with making a clone of their own game. It's like they make a sequel, it gets praised. Let's just say, oh yeah, Call of Duty makes a sequel, it gets praised. But I know it's a bad example because I hate the second game of this, but...
Well, I mean, this doesn't always happen, though I can list exactly why the following example did not.
Oh, Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 2 was a good game, but people are saying, oh, it's...
That wasn't what I was going to bring up. I was going to bring up Sonic the Hedgehog 4.
Oh! Oh my god.
That.
Oh my god.
That
physics in the game were so terrible.
That was why but I will still say that was an example of them trying to appeal to the old and it crashed.
I mean, Episode 2 wasn't that bad. Episode 2 was actually decent.
More anticlimactic, the story from what I hear though, but outside that.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'll give you guys one example of how a sequel to a game really screws up the game. Like, I am a big fan of the BioShock series, and I like 1 and Infinite. 2, however, is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say that with a straight face. That game is a piece of shit.
Yeah. Regardless, yeah. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the new Super Mario Bros. And I would love for them to make another, collectathon 3D Mario.
And don't make a sequel to 3D World, because you guys made a Super Mario Galaxy 2, and it's like, it's a clone.
Well, the thing is with 3D World is it kind of is a sequel. Because there was 3D Land on the 3DS, and that one was successful.
Okay. Let me explain. It makes sense to make a sequel to 3D Land, because that was a portable game. But let me give an example of, like, Galaxy 2. That game there was no point to that game. It was, all it is was just Yoshi. And you're not even really in the Galaxy either.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of playing footage of Galaxy 2 instead of Galaxy 1, but I did love Galaxy 1, and I've not played Galaxy 2 yet.
Don't even play Galaxy 2, it's just a clone.
Okay. Yeah, I would love to see another 3D Mario with the imagination of, say, 64 and Sunshine and Galaxy.
Even though Sunshine wasn't as great as a 3D Mario game, I would say, though, I would have preferred playing Mario Sunshine over the new Super Mario Bros. Games any day.
Okay, now, here's another thing that I would love to see at this E3, a new Fire Emblem. Oh, man.
Wishful thinking, my friend.
Well, not necessarily. Awakening was a huge success. It's bound to happen. There are already like 13 games, although we only got past 7 here. So no, it's bound to happen. Just, I don't know if it'll be at this E3. That said, I would love for them to keep a lot of the reinventions in Awakening, because there were a lot of reinventions that I think just fixed a lot of the problems I have with the series. And I would love for them to continue some of those reinventions, but, give us a good adventure that maybe has a plot that can rival Path of Radiance on the GameCube, because, in all honesty, that was your best story. Awakenings works, but it's not nearly like Path of Radiance.
If you don't mind, I'm just taking off my shoes.
Okay. So, yeah, I am looking forward to something in the future, at least, from Fire Emblem. So, yeah, let's move forward past that one. Now, some games that you were wanting to talk about.
Oh, F-Zero, yeah. All I want is, at least give us an HD of F-Zero GX. Because the game was really hard, but I liked the game. And I'm hoping they bring another F-Zero game on the Nintendo Wii U, because that series, I think, deserves a lot more attention than the attention it has right now.
That would be totally. I could see them doing that. They did make the 3D remake of Star Fox 64.
And please, Nintendo make a new Star Fox, an actual new Star Fox, not a remake of the old game.
Yeah.
I mean, people were complaining about Star Fox Assault, but I like Star Fox Assault. I thought it was a good balance between, adventures and 64. Yeah, okay, I'll admit. At first, I liked adventures, but then I replayed it again on my GameCube, and it's... Yeah, I can see the complaints of Star Fox Adventures. I did like Assault, though. I really liked Assault.
Yeah. I still need to get a 64 3D. I haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah.
So that said, let's move on to the next thing. Okay. Big news that dropped a few weeks ago.
Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I'm down. I'm down for it. I mean, I was very negative about X and Y, but I'm down for another remake. Soul Silver and, Heart Gold, those were fantastic, amazing remakes that blew the original versions out of the water.
It destroys them.
So, I'm down for this.
Yes, because the Dirt J was my favorite. I will admit, Dirt J was my favorite because okay, this is a little rant. I hate first geners.
Gen 1ers.
Gen 1ers, yes. They are so goddamn annoying. Are you going to censor my cursing?
I don't care. No. I am a Gen 2er, but that's me. I mean, I like Gen 3 as well. It's my second favorite. But...
Oh my god, like a Gen 6, this Pokemon is so unoriginal. Yeah, like a dragon, a freaking turtle is not unoriginal.
Okay, no, one interesting thing that people have brought up about Gen 3, where people are like, oh my gosh, that was when the Pokemon started getting weird. Well, take this into consideration for the time. That was the first one where the Pokemon were like that. As far as we know, that could have been just them doing something stylistically.
Yes.
They wanted to do something different, they went with it. Now, continuing to go in that vein, I can totally agree that may not have been the best decision. But for that one first instance, I don't see the problem.
In fact, I like the idea because it gives more original designs.
Yeah. Now, of course, now we have ice cream Pokemon and other weird things, but yeah, I don't know. That's mainly just Gen 4. I could rant hours on Gen 4. I've mentioned this before. I don't.
Let's not bring it up.
Let's just not. Okay, so
that's a video for another time.
This is really wishful thinking. Golden Sun 4, guys. Golden Sun 4.
That's never gonna happen, Will.
Please. Well, we'll talk about it anyway. You guys can also see my Let's Play that is probably never going to be finished, but, I love that game. I grew up, that was my childhood RPG. Like, I did have Pokemon, I think, before Golden Sun, but Golden Sun was the one that I really remember playing a lot, and it's really amazing, and it's really underrated. Because the people who have played it love it avidly, but then the people who haven't, they just don't know about it.
Like me.
It's very well balanced for an RPG, because I can list so many RPGs where they force you to grind and stuff, but the thing is, if you learn...
Final Fantasy.
But with Golden Sun, you learn the mechanics, and grinding may never be an issue, except for Golden Sun 2, but that's a different story. Now, Golden Sun 1 was a very simple adventure, where you kind of go from one point to another, you just kind of follow this story. Golden Sun 2... you only have, 2 continents to explore in the first game. And the second game opens up the rest of the world. And it's a lot less linear, and the game is just really, well made. Just the amount of places you can go to and other stuff. And, Golden Sun 2 is actually almost daunting to play, the amount of content it has for a Game Boy Advance game. Mm-hmm. And I would love for them to, I would love to see one of 2 things to be done about Golden Sun. And I would love a sequel, or a remake, or maybe even just put them up on... I guess Golden Sun 1 is on the Virtual Console, and the second one will come eventually.
I hate the fact that they ended the Golden Sun 3 so abruptly.
Now, this is going into other territory. Golden Sun 3, this is the nail in the coffin for what I mean about that ending. Okay, so, literally, the game is a lot lamer than... Oh, there's Iwata.
Screw him!
So, with Golden Sun 3, you have a very mediocre adventure compared to the first 2, but regardless, it was still pretty fun. So everyone's coming home, they're finally getting, move the plot forward from the game, and so you're just on your way home, everything's all peaceful, and then one of the guys in the group is just and then the other guys are like, what's going on? And then he's just like,
the end?
And then you see a giant gaping portal of doom, and then the end, with a question mark.
The end?
That was 2011. It's been 3 years. Don't do this to me. Camelot, the main developers of the game, who are part of Nintendo, I know you've been working on Mario Golf. Would you please make a sequel? Please?
And at least conclude the story. At least make one last game.
Conclude the story. Please. If you're gonna give us a pile of crud and give us an ending like this, give us a good game that blows it out of the water.
Okay.
Now
I'm going to go through my serious rant territory. And this goes to Mass Effect 3. What you're experiencing right now is the same thing that happened to me with Mass Effect 3. Oh my goodness, that ending was so goddamn terrible. It ruined the entire series for me. Oh my god, like, literally, it's either you destroy, either you destroy it, you can control it, or you can synthesize. 2 of the 3, it misses the entire point of what you're trying to do. You're supposed to destroy the Reapers, not join sides with them. And then when you destroy it, you don't know what the heck happens. What happens? Literally, what happens?
Yeah.
And it's like every single choice you made in the first 2 games, you would expect to have some closure with the last game. But no fucking closure.
Now that that's aside, and I can agree. Now we're going into a very weird game that I don't know how it would work. That was announced back before before E3 happened, before the Wii U happened. I meant to say, this. So, to begin with, I don't even know how this game would work, but apparently they announced it: Fire Emblem X Shin Megami Tensei. Now, I've not played Shin Megami Tensei, but I know it's a very modernistic.
I played Shin Megami Tensei Persona, not the actual series.
Yeah, I just know it's a very J-poppy kind of a thing. like it. Very anime-ish, like more modern anime-ish. And so I don't know how that's gonna work with Fire Emblem. I don't. I mean,
the gameplay is pretty different.
well, I could see how they can do it because Fire Emblem still runs strongly on RPG stats and stuff. It's just put into a great big field area.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see them doing something kind of similar to Suikoden 2 with that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a game that needs to go on the PlayStation Network. Okay,
I think it'll eventually come to the PlayStation Network.
probably. But
Because Persona 4 already came to the PlayStation Network.
yeah, so, yeah, make that stuff happen. Now, that aside, this is the big stuff that I am expecting. Final Fantasy friggin' 15.
Not Versus 13.
Well, whatever. Final Fantasy 15 needs to be there.
If they don't put this game out, I will not support Square Enix.
We have not seen a trailer for a year. After it's been announced as 15. You've been tugging our chains for, what was it, 2006, right?
2005.
2005. So, it's been almost 10 years.
9 years.
I said it's almost 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So, make a trailer, please. I love this game. I am super excited. This is my sole, well, I mean, next to Kingdom Hearts 3, sole reason for me to get a PS4.
And I remember you got a PS3 for this game.
Yes, I got a PS3 for this game in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Putting on the PS4!
Yes. So, please, Square, do it. I know you had Lightning Returns last year, and that
Which
you
was
did
a
it, and
piece-
you didn't want people's attention drawn away from it for 15. I understand the marketing strategy. Whether or not I agree that's a game worth people's time is aside the point. It was
Okay.
a marketing strategy that
All
made
right.
sense. That's
Why are you... Okay, Square Enix. Why are you focusing on a shitty story?
Oh, it's over. It's over. And the ending has caused some confusion regarding Final Fantasy 15, actually.
So let's not bring that game up ever again. In fact, if this game ends up being a Duke Nukem Forever, which I'm hoping it does not.
Okay, alright, just to explain what I mean, and I've seen the ending, like, in English and stuff. Also, they ripped off Dirge's Cerberus.
God damn it.
Final Fantasy Lightning Returns ripped off Dirge of Cerberus.
A spin-off
Of
of 7.
So get this. So basically, chaos, the energy in the game that causes paradoxes, is actually the afterlife, and in its purest form looks strikingly similar to the life stream. So basically, what happens in that is that when the world dies, Benavel's, the god of the game, wants to take this life force and move it to a new planet. You know, kind of like Omega in Dirge of Cerberus when the planet dies. So, basically, they go and populate another planet, and the ending to Lightning Returns is that the real world as we know it is the end of Lightning Returns. Yes, they populated another planet, and everyone's reincarnated in the real world.
So everyone has a massive orgy.
What? No. It's just everyone kind of died and popped up again. It's really weird. The thing is, that now the confusion I'm talking about is some people are saying, oh no, they didn't populate the real world. They populated the world of Final Fantasy 15 because it's a fantasy based on reality. I saw a lot of comments about that.
Oh my god.
Okay, just to clarify, Final Fantasy 15 is in a completely different universe from 13. You're going to say, Fabula Nova Crystallis, though. Isn't that make them part of the same series?
Let me add on to that. It says a fantasy based on reality. Because this has a lot of Shakespearean references from the trailers. So, I think it's supposed to be...
little more than that.
Yeah.
There's a lot more than... Because, okay, to begin with, the thing from the newest trailer is basically Venice, from what I hear.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically Venice, and
that's what they mean by
and furthermore, if you look in the trailer, you see police cars that look shockingly similar to actual Japanese police cars and other stuff. So it's a little more than just Shakespeare. But I will say one thing, though, just to clarify about this. You see, Fabula Nova Crystallis has a very vague, very, very vague connection between the games regarding a mythology known by the same name. Basically, the idea when they were creating these games was to make a mythology, give these development teams the mythology to work from, and create their own games. The name of Versus 13 was created purposely with... It was a really stupid name, but it was created to basically be a Versus of 13, an opposite take to 13.
Yes.
So, the game itself, they have a god Benevelza, and a goddess Etro, and Lysine, all that other stuff.
There's a lot of references to the number 13.
But outside of, those same constants, there is no connection. There is none. Because it's like if people took Greek mythology and made their own stories. Granted, that was
maybe they originally planned that when it was called Versus 13. Maybe they had that originally planned, but they probably scrapped it.
Now, yeah. That said, so for you people who are thinking the Lightning Returns leads to 15, it isn't. Okay? And that's the same for Type 0, which we still haven't gotten. But
I am actually, once I get another PSP, I'm going to actually import the game.
Yeah. But again, yeah, so Type 0, Final Fantasy 15, and Final Fantasy 13 are not related.
There's also Final Fantasy Algio.
Agito is a prequel to Type 0 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, so that one is connected to Type 0. Well, we went into a giant rant about Final Fantasy 13.
Alright, let's actually continue.
Yeah, so that aside, I am looking forward to 15 because this just seemed like an interesting game. Everything about it. I mean, to begin with, I think Final Fantasy was at its best when it had elements of the real world in there. Because sometimes it's taken its fantasy concepts and gone in very strange directions with it. And I can say specifically right now Final Fantasy X as an example. It is a perfectly fine game from my opinion. The only thing is the characters have the weirdest outfits I've ever seen.
Yes. Like, personally, me, with 10, I mean, he likes him more than I do. I kind of think it's very mixed with me.
Yeah, I mean, I give a pass to the voice acting because it was their first thing with it. And the laugh scene, in context, does make sense. It's just bizarre writing. Okay, so, that said, another game that everyone is way more excited than 15.
Kingdom Hearts 3!
Kingdom Hearts 3!
This game will make fangirls just cream their pants.
Makes the impossible possible. Oh, man.
No, seriously, no. There is a lot of Kingdom Hearts fangirls in my school. It's
I know
fun.
that. I know that.
Oh my God.
I think more than half of its fan base are girls. But the game is awesome. I love it. I'm really looking forward to Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm super excited. I'm not as excited as, say, 15, and I can tell you why right now. It's because I've been following up on the prequels and spin-off games that were created for the purpose
and
of
the story of that game, of the series, is very, very convoluted.
He doesn't even know. He hasn't played it yet.
From what I heard, from what he told me, it's very convoluted.
It's very convoluted. The bad guy alone is the reason why. So, just to go into it, it's just,
I might get the HD games for the PS3.
Yeah. So that said, I'm looking forward to Kingdom Hearts 3. It's just, when everyone was freaking out at E3, I was a little happy. I was more happy because I was riding off of my excitement of the Final Fantasy 15 trailer when that one came up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And again, speaking about last year with that other thing, what Square Enix did to me last year was what I was expecting Nintendo to do to me last year.
Mm-hmm.
I did not expect Square Enix of all companies to do that to me. Now here's some additional gameplay footage from like the D23 Expo or something at one point.
Yeah.
So this looks really nice. It's running off the same graphics engine as Final Fantasy 13 apparently.
Yeah,
So,
the not Luminous, the
yeah.
Crystal Tools.
Yeah, Crystal Tools. And it's looking really pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, this could look like something that could be on the Wii U, but knowing Nintendo's relations with other third-party developers, it's probably never going to happen.
Yeah, people have asked them, and I mean, the thing is with Kingdom Hearts, I could see it happen with this game because more than half of the spin-off games have been on Nintendo consoles.
Yeah.
Because 358 over 2 days, what was it, the Coded or whatever?
Coded and Dream Drop Distance.
Dream Drop Distance, Chain of Memories was initially on the Game Boy Advance.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I could see it happening. I don't think they will, though, because Nomura has said multiple times he doesn't want it to for some reason.
I'm thinking it's because a lot of developers are not liking Nintendo, especially with their new like business practices.
It's just really bizarre to me, especially considering all the spin-off games are on it. And another game I want to see...
2.5 Remix.
Yeah, 2.5 Remix, yeah. Mainly just because I think the final mix of Kingdom Hearts 1, because no one had ever really uploaded information on that one. It had always been Kingdom Hearts 2. And then I realized, after playing it, there isn't much to talk about. The changes are very minimal in the final mix of the Kingdom Hearts 1. Whereas in Kingdom Hearts 2, they have 10 whole new boss fights. In an entire new area.
Yeah, they're using the final mix version. Maybe that's why.
Yeah. So, again, like I'm saying, for Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, they have 10 whole new boss fights and an entire new area to explore.
And they're remastering and Birth by Sleep on the...
Birth by Sleep, yes.
Yeah.
Now, I know they won't do this, and this is just a personal thing I would love to see in Birth by Sleep HD. Add the capes. It'd be really jarring to fight Terra in Kingdom Hearts 2, because he's... Spoiler alert, he's a secret boss in that game. And to have him have a cape in that boss fight, and then play this, and he doesn't.
Yep.
You know.
Doesn't seem...
Yeah. They're probably not going to go, because I felt that the HD remix of the first things were kind of lazy. Like, the final mixes themselves were pretty good, but and from what I hear, the final mix of Birth by Sleep wasn't that much more innovative than Kingdom Hearts 1 final mix.
And Potato Face.
Potato Face. Yeah, I mean, okay, what was especially lazy when I looked into it was Chain of Memories in that HD collection.
Yeah.
Because in the Kingdom Hearts 1, they did change a lot. They used his Dream Drop Distance character model, but then for Chain of Memories, they only updated the visuals to be HD. They didn't change any of the character models or anything, and it's very clear to notice. Like, some characters will look a lot more tan than they did before.
Yeah. Mostly because it was a direct port.
Yeah.
And everyone knows the PS3 is a pretty difficult architecture, so trying to port something from the PS2 or Xbox put on the PS3, there will be some visual blemishes.
Well, I mean, I'm saying the Chain of Memories versus Kingdom Hearts 1 final mix.
Yeah, I know. Well, for Kingdom Hearts 1, they redid some of the models.
They didn't just redo some of the models. Like, okay, to begin with, they also changed the entire soundtrack of Kingdom Hearts 1.
Mm-hmm.
They pretty much remastered everything to be like orchestral and other tracks.
But they didn't use the Japanese version of that one song in the end.
Well, you know what? Was that a surprise to anyone? Also, spoiler alert, I don't like Simple and Clean. I like Hikari. I don't like
Hikari! I love Hikari.
But, yeah.
But though, the music video was strong though. Her washing the dishes.
Check out that music video. It's pretty awesome.
We'll put a link in the description for you guys to watch.
Yeah, I'm not putting it in here.
No, we're not putting it on the video.
I will get an instant copyright strike. You have no idea how crazy that song. You put that on your instant.
Yeah. We'll put it in the description though, but not on the actual video.
Yeah. So that said, the only thing about the next HD thing is that there's going to be even less reason to watch the movie in the next one than there was the first one. Because, okay, 358 over 2 days, I'm one of the few people who found that game really interesting. But in terms of...
Coded?
Coded? Frig, no. It contributes nothing. Nothing. It has a secret ending, and that's it. The game starts, you're put in digital world, where all the plot involves that digital space. By the end of the game, nothing.
Alright, so let's move on to a different game. Super Smash Brothers.
Super Smash Brothers!
You're putting in too much emphasis on that. Alright, I hope they announce new characters, because from looking at the roster, it sounds pretty disappointing that there isn't that many characters so far.
Okay, I don't know if you heard about this one that was announced 2 days ago. Someone returned.
Ike. Yes.
Specifically Ike from Radiant Dawn. The first, Brawl used his Path of Radiance character design, but it seems the next one is going to use his design from Radiant Dawn, which is about 3 years afterwards, and if you look closely you can see he's ripped.
Yes.
He is ripped. And, because I remember playing that game and he was just crazy. Now the only thing I have to say about it is I'm trying to decide whether or not he looks jarring.
Yeah.
Because I felt he looked kind of jarring before because I was used to his Path of Radiance design, and I think Radiant Dawn is very clunky compared to Path of Radiance. But that said, I am super happy that Ike's coming back, and I can tell you why right now. He's my man. He is my character.
Marth is my man.
Ike is my character. I mean, okay, unless you're playing Project M. In Project M, my character's Roy, because they actually made him really good in Project M. But, outside Project M, not really much. I mean, outside, yeah. So, Ike, love that he's back, and I'm not going to complain.
Let me check how the camera's doing. Oh, it's still recording. So yeah. I was just checking, guys, don't worry.
Yeah. So, that said, yeah. The new Smash Bros. Needs more characters. That's my major complaint with it.
Yep.
It needs more characters, which I hope they announce at E3. That said, I enjoyed that Direct. That Direct was all kinds of fun.
No more 06 Samus.
Just kidding. Yeah, that was so much fun.
It's literally, the only reason why he did that is because he knows people fantasize about 06 Samus.
Now, you see, people, you know you've done good if you had me unimpressed and then you got me impressed. Because that was how I was up until that Direct. Because I just didn't care until then. I really did.
The Nintendo Directs are just really, especially with Iwata, when Iwata's in there. Iwata just ruins everything.
Yeah, Iwata. They're like, okay, this Direct was good. Because this guy knows how to talk to his fans. He's funny.
Iwata's like, hello! I'm sure you guys understand.
Please
understand that Wii U is going to die soon.
Well, that said, let's... Yeah, and, oh, now we're just going to that territory.
Alright,
let's not go that territory. Let's just say... No, let's not. So, that's mainly all I wanted to see. Because, I mean, I want to see Golden Sun 4, which is not going to be... So, just to sum up, Zelda U, Metroid U, Majora's Mask. I would be okay with... I might or might not be okay with a new IP. It depends on what it is. And I would love to see a Golden Sun 4. Probably not going to happen. and you know, if a new Fire Emblem came out, I'd be super chill, and definitely gonna get Smash Bros when that comes out.
Oh wait, I got one more thing to talk about, and this is going to be more long. No, not really long, but it's like a minute or so. Star Wars Battlefront. I am a huge fan of Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2. I really like the gameplay of those games. EA, don't screw this up. Because if you screw up Star Wars Battlefront, you just screwed up something you just screwed over one of the huge fans of Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah.
Because that game, like, I love, it's like Battlefield, but it's like, it's with the Star Wars universe, and I love that. And I hope they do this, where you can actually be on the ground, and you can actually go on in space. Because they did that with the PSP version of Elite Squadron, where you can actually be up in space and on the ground at the same time. Please do that for all maps.
Okay. Yeah. And so yeah. So I think I've said about like all I really need to, and what I really you guys have seen everything that I really want, and yeah. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what I expect, I just want to see Final Fantasy 15, Kingdom Hearts 3, and good Nintendo games.
And just one more visual thinking for both of us. Final Fantasy 7 remake.
Well, that's not going to be for a few years.
Yeah, that's probably...
if it is.
I mean, it's more likely going to happen than Golden Sun 4.
I would disagree. And I can tell you kind of why. The fact that Golden Sun popped up on the Wii U Virtual Console.
Okay.
That shows there is an interest for it. And the fan base is going to build because of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And it isn't entirely unknown. Isaac from Golden Sun 1 is an assist trophy in Brawl.
Yeah.
So, I mean, granted, I wish it was more popular, but yeah. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I would say it's more likely than Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yep. I can see your point, because it probably won't even be till the PS5 or PS6 for that game to come out.
Yeah. So I think we said all really we need to at this point.
Yeah. Alright, guys.
Well,
bye.
Oh, gosh. Let's lead them out a little more, man. Okay. I thank you guys for watching. You can, you know, click this other thing or this other thing, you know, that may not actually be there. And, you know, subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to him once he starts making code.
No, don't subscribe to me. I'll let you guys know.
Subscribe to him. Subscribe. No, okay. And, I'll see you guys later. There won't be any Seiken Densetsu for another few weeks, but I will say I still am planning some collab stuff. I've just been busy with school.
We're graduating.
Yeah! So, this summer there will be a lot of content, so expect some of that. And also, I brought this up before. Check out my comic. You know that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, check out my stuff.
Check out the stuff.
Check out my stuff. You don't have to like it. Just give it one look. If you don't like it,
whatever.
go ahead, fine. You know, yeah. So, alright. Bye!
Bye.
Are they still watching?
They're still watching you, Will.